Signals in the deep, markets never sleep. Whales move silent, but we speak. On-chain truth, no disguise. This is Leviathan, open your eyes.
Hello. We got some bunch of technical issues from the get-go, but that's fine. We'll just maybe use this thing as the home screen for today. So yeah, launching the Flex MVP today, sort of, kind of. We'll see if we can get the link here hopefully soon, and we'll post something on Twitter. But otherwise, I think I won't put any music today because last stream, apparently it was blocked because of the music, and that's fine. But for this stream, I think my goal is to go over the UI and maybe the contracts. Hopefully we get some questions. We'll be able to engage with those and probably keep it pretty short today. So yeah, let's see. First thing, let's try to thank you, CurveCap. Let's see if we can tweet this thing here. And then we'll start going over the UI and maybe the contracts. Oops. So Twitter, for whatever reason, keeps crashing on my machine here. But we'll try again. Let's see. No, I prefer quote this. Let's see. Tarded enough. I encourage one of the first ever fixed rate CRV-USD loans. Okay, I think that's fine. So yeah, let's open the chat box here. Nothing so far. Some AI generated music? No, thank you. Not right now. So yeah, let's go over the UI real quick. And again, if anyone has any questions, drop them in the chat, and we'll try to answer. So I'm not sure if you can see this little pop-up here. Oh, I'm able to move it. Good. So obviously, well, for some people, this design would be pretty familiar, I guess. It's based on the classic Curve UI. I really like it, and I felt like I wanted to do it here. Also, it's very simple, and so I thought it would be good, and I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. Yeah, on the food bar, nothing currently clicks. So in the future, we'll add that. In the header, we have the markets, we have the DAO, which doesn't click as well, stats doesn't click as well, little question mark, nothing as well, and we have the risks. So that's very important, especially with all the latest sort of things that are happening in the market. The contracts are unaudited right now, so if anyone is using it, keep that in mind. There's a 10K CRVUSD deposit cap either way, but still, yeah, if you don't feel comfortable, just don't use it. That's fine. If you do and you want to support it, that's also great. And feel free to DM me or whatever if you have any questions or problems. So yeah, very important. Contracts are unaudited at the moment. Use at your own risk. But yeah, so yeah, I guess the main, well, this is actually the public sort of domain, right? The flexmeow.com. So you can also sort of enter this site from wherever you are. Also have the local host version here running, which is a bit faster, I think. Right? Let's see. Yeah, it's a bit faster. I guess I could bump the Vercel kind of thing, VM, and it should be a bit snappier on the deployment there, but yeah, whatever. So anyways, we have the markets tab here. That's the entry point. So whenever you type flexmeow.com, you should be automatically redirected to the markets tab. And currently we have only one market, right? So TBTC as collateral and CRVUSD is the borrow token. You can borrow CRVUSD. Total collateral right now 0.01 TBTC. Lend APY. Total debt, that's the sort of utilized debt, and that's the available liquidity. And yeah, we'll get into the sort of nitty-gritty of it in a second. The average borrow rate is currently 9.7%, but obviously you can pick your own rate, so that would move around. Those buttons are, doing nothing as well currently. Hopefully soon we'll be able to implement that. So yeah, once we click this market, we are redirected to this page. Here we have an indication of the market, obviously, pretty straightforward. In the borrow page, we can open a trove. In the lend thing, we can lend CRVUSD, and later we can adjust our positions. So when we want to open a trove, we need to select three things: our collateral, our loan size, and the interest rate that we want to pay. That's a problem. I did not get ready with the correct wallet. That's not great. Let me actually do this for a second. Oh shit, if I stop sharing, I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it back. Okay, anyways, we'll go without it. So you have a bunch of sort of documentation here that should help you figure out what's happening. Yeah, I really wanted to open a trove live here. Let's give it a try. Okay, I'm getting my wallet ready here. Should have done that before the stream, but I'm horrible. Sorry about that. So yeah, we should be ready to go now. Let's see if I can share my screen again. Shit. We need Curve Cup to approve it. Oh, there we go. So let's see. We should have our thing here. Great. Good. So we have my correct wallet, which have an open trove. Let's try to close it and open a new one. Yeah, my borrow token balance is 505 CRUSD, and I need to repay a touch less, and I should receive back a bunch of TBTC. Okay. It is very slow. Very slow. I'm not sure if it's something on my end or it's just it, but yeah. Looks fine. We should be redirected back to the positions page and basically see nothing. Let's see if it works. Nice, it works. So we just closed our position. Let's try to open a new one. Right? Yeah, let's do it. No questions so far, so I'll just go ahead and do it. So let's see. We want to have some collateral. So we have the collateral price, collateral value, maximum loan to value, all pretty simple, I think. Let's try to borrow, yeah, maybe a touch better so we're not liquidated. And that's actually quite interesting, the maximum loan amount here. So the little tooltip here says available liquidity that can be borrowed from this market. Available liquidity equals idle tokens plus actively borrowed tokens. Right, so idle tokens are, as the name suggests, just CRUSD that sits in the lender vault, and you can borrow them. You can basically, pull them without incurring any slippage or fees. But the actively borrowed tokens are sort of CRUSD liquidity that someone else already borrowed. And so in order to access them, you need to basically sell the other borrower's collateral, right? So in that scenario, you would pay the swap fees and slippage for that. So as you can see, if I pick 500 here, since, let's see, I think, so here in the market page, we can see the total debt, like we said earlier, the active debt and the sort of, well, let's call it the utilized liquidity and the total available liquidity, right? So as long as I borrow you know, 1900 minus 500, basically, whatever it is, like 1400. I don't need to pay any slippage or swap fees. But if I want to borrow the full amount, or almost 2000 USD, I'll need to release this 531 USD. And by release, I mean selling the collateral of another borrower, right? The borrower with the lowest interest rate, basically, starting from him at least. So yeah, since I want to borrow only 500 USD, and we see here in the markets that we have more, we have almost 1500 USD that is unutilized. The minimum amount out here indicates no slippage, right? So let's read here: minimum expected after accounting for slippage and swap fees when redeeming collateral for borrowed tokens. Yeah, so as I explained, no slippage and borrowing fees here. Minimum loan amount is the sort of, minimum debt required to open a trove. That's a constant in the contract. And then the interest rate. So yeah, I guess a couple of interesting things here. Cost per year is pretty straightforward. The upfront fee is quite interesting. Basically, it's a one-time fee. Well, let's read the docs here. One-time fee charged when opening your trove or borrowing more tokens. This disincentivizes taking debt with below market interest rate, right? So when you take debt or when you open a trove, you need to, how can I say it? You need to be afraid of getting redeemed to some extent. So because otherwise you would just pick the minimum interest rate, right? If you don't care about getting redeemed, because a redemption is not really, it's not a liquidation, it's just a deleveraging. You don't really lose money, but you do lose your upfront fee and potentially your slippage and trading fees. So yeah, the upfront fee should sort of prevent that situation of people just taking debt, sort of arbitraging it, taking debt with the lowest interest rate. This value would potentially need to be bumped up. Currently, I think it's 1 week's worth of average interest rate. But yeah, whatever. For now, it's fine. So let's pick this interest rate. I guess the other trove took a pretty high, chose a pretty high rate, so the average interest rate is pretty high now. We'll probably decrease it a bit. Yeah, redeemable before you is currently not implemented. It's a bit nuanced. I need to find time to do it, but it should show you how much CRVUSD would be redeemable before getting to your right, because again, the borrower with the lowest interest rate is getting redeemed first. So as you pick a higher interest rate, you'll have more buffer, before getting redeemed. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat. And yeah, we'll try to open a trove now. Let's see if that works. We need to approve our TBTC spending first. And then hopefully we'll be able to open the trove. Good. So far, so good. $8, $8.60 to open the trove. While gas is almost 5 gwei. I think that's decent. The contracts are written in Viper and are pretty minimalistic, so I'm pretty happy with it. It's not too bad. That is not too bad. And there we go. I think we just managed to open a trove. Let's see. There we go. So yeah, here we have our currently only active trove. Some stats. I don't know. I feel like everything is pretty straightforward. Again, if you're here and you have any questions, drop them in the chat. But yeah, once we have our trove, we can click this thing here, and we can adjust it basically, right? So we can add collateral, remove collateral, borrow more, repay debt, adjust the interest rate, and close the position. So yeah, again, I think it's pretty straightforward stuff here. Not sure I have too much to add. Maybe here, when you adjust the interest rate, there's this little message here. Adjusting your interest rate within the cooldown period will incur an upfront fee. So again, this is kind of sort of a defense mechanism against people changing their fees just before redemption happens, right? So I think the cooldown period right now is a week, and so yeah, if I wait a week right here, this message should not be here basically, and my upfront fee should be 0. But otherwise, I would need to pay this upfront fee again, and yeah, so that's on the borrow side. On the lend side, it's even simpler. So you have the deposit page, you have the withdraw page, and yeah, it's just a year-end strategy basically. So it's super straightforward. Oh, actually, one interesting thing here is when you withdraw again, you may need to pay slippage and swap fees depending on the utilization, right? So if the entire debt is utilized, you need to sell some collateral of borrowers. So you would need to pay for these swap fees and slippage. Otherwise, if there's enough idle liquidity, you'll just be able to pull it. So that's, I guess, one nuance here. And yeah, I think it's actually pretty powerful picking your own interest rate and being able to borrow a useful token. So you can take your Serve USD and maybe LP with it, maybe go to Pendle, buy some PTs, whatever, maybe you want to loop it, buy more TBTC, and you can, either way, you have, I think, pretty good predictability and potentially fixed yield on your collateral. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on that. I think for yield-bearing stable coins as collateral, maybe even more obvious, I guess. But yeah, we'll need to see how that goes. No questions so far. So let's see. Did I have something else to talk about? Let's see. Maybe we have some questions in Twitter. Let's see. Maybe we have some questions in Twitter. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure how to see it. So yeah. Whatever. And yeah, I think I won't work today again because I want to have this stream not blocked and be able to refer people to it whenever necessary. But yeah, I guess bottom line, if you're still here, congrats. Remember that the contracts are not audited, so either don't use them or use them with a really small amount if you want to use them at all. Otherwise, hopefully in the next few weeks we'll be able to audit them and push this to the next stage. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. And yeah, hopefully people will find it useful. I think I'm pretty happy with the outcome so far. And I'll definitely do some more borrowing once we have more liquidity and everything is good to go. So yeah, otherwise I think I'll close this one super quickly. Not sure if Curve Cup is here. Let's see. But yeah, if no questions, I'll just close this one for today. And yeah, not sure if anyone is here, but if you are, thank you for joining. And I'll hopefully catch you next time. Not sure when that will be, if that will be Thursday or another day. But yeah, I think next stream we'll work somewhere on the contracts. We need to build a liquidation bot. And yeah, mostly get the contracts ready for audit. So yeah, actually, let's see if I can drop the URL again in the chat. How do I do that? Not sure. I feel so retarded working this thing, but it is what it is. The URL is flexmeow.com. Flexmeow. Super simple. And yeah, again, so have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.